Hey Christians,
Hello.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Jesus, he called God Allah, right?
No. Jesus spoke Aramaic. He'd have said Allah or Eloi, like he does on the cross in Mark 15.
He prayed to God and he put his head to the ground.
So does Abraham in Genesis 17 and Moses in Exodus 34. That's how everyone in the ancient Near East prayed. Luke 22, he's kneeling. John 11, he stood and prayed for Lazarus.
He fasted 40 days.
So did Moses, Exodus 34.
He never ate pork.
Leviticus 11, he was Jewish.
He greeted everyone with Salam Alaikum, which means peace be upon you.
In Hebrew, that's Shalom Aleichem. Jews were saying it 1,000 years earlier.
He washed himself before praying.
Exodus 30. And in Mark 7, the Pharisees give him grief for skipping it.
He forbade being drunk.
In John 2, he turned water into wine, and he drank wine at the Last Supper. In Matthew 11, people called him a drunkard.
He taught everyone that there was only one true God.
That's the Shema, Deuteronomy 6.
And his mother wore a headscarf.
So did every Jewish woman in the first century.
So what religion was Jesus?
Jewish. Jesus was Jewish. Arabic-speaking Christians were praying to Allah before Islam even existed. Allah is simply the Arabic word for God, and Christians and Jews in Arabia used it centuries before Muhammad was even born. They never stopped. Arabic Bibles printed today still say Allah on every page. Angels in the Bible don't look like the paintings at all. Isaiah's Sephrim have 6 wings. Ezekiel describes 4-faced creatures accompanied by wheels covered in eyes. And nearly every angel that appears opens with "Do not be afraid" for a reason. The chubby little babies with wings? Renaissance decoration. The Bible's angels made prophets fall on their faces. Half the people of earth trace their faith back to one man. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all claim Abraham as ancestor, as friend of God. 3 scriptures and 1 starting point. The faiths that have fought each other for centuries begin with the same figure in the same desert. The First Crusade killed thousands of Jews before it even seen a Muslim. In 1096, Crusader mobs moving through Germany turned on the Jewish communities in the Rhineland. Some local bishops tried to shelter them, but the mobs came anyway. The Crusaders marched east to fight for Jerusalem. Its first massacres happened at home against his neighbors. Paul never met Jesus during his first ministry. He persecuted Christians. He watched Stephen get stoned to death and then had an encounter on a road that changed everything. He wrote most of the New Testament without ever hearing Jesus preach. We don't actually know what Jesus looked like. The Gospels never describe it. Not his height, not his hair, not his face. The most depicted figure in human history, and the people who knew personally left no physical description. The earliest images of him appear around 300 years after his death. The Bible was not written in the order that you read it. Genesis comes first. It wasn't written first. Job is probably the oldest text in the Bible. Paul's letters predate the Gospels. The order in your Bible is editorial. It was chosen that way. One of Islam's holiest mosques has a Christian saint shrine in the middle of it. The Umayyad Mosque in Damascus holds a shrine of John the Baptist, and Muslims have honored it for 13 centuries, because he's a prophet in Islam too. Pilgrims from both faiths have prayed at the same tomb for over 1,000 years. Did you know Jesus was a political problem? Rome cared about public order, and the phrase "King of the Jews" sounded dangerous in a land already tense under occupation. The word Jesus used for hell was the name of a real place. Gehenna was a valley just outside Jerusalem with a long, dark history of fire and sacrifice. His listeners didn't imagine it. They could walk there. The Crusades didn't come out of nowhere. In 1009, a caliph destroyed Christianity's holiest church. Al-Hakim ordered the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, built over the tomb of Jesus, demolished to his foundations. Reports of it burned across Europe for decades. 90 years later, Crusaders used it as a rallying cry. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John never say they were written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. All 4 Gospels are anonymous. No author names themselves in the text. The titles were attached in the 2nd century, based on early church tradition. The most famous books ever written don't tell you who wrote them. The early church didn't have church buildings for the first 3 centuries. Christians just met each other at each other's house. The idea of a dedicated building only became possible after Constantine made Christianity legal. Muslims pray the way the Bible describes Jesus praying. In Gethsemane, Matthew writes that Jesus fell on his face and prayed. Moses and Abraham do the same, face to the ground. The posture Muslims still use 5 times a day. The prayer positions many Christians find foreign is all through their own scriptures. For most of history, the safest place to be a Jew wasn't Christian Europe, it was under Islam. Christian kingdoms expelled Jews one after the other. England, 1290. France, Spain, 1492. The Ottoman Sultans sent ships for Spanish exiles and mocked the king who thrown his people away. Whatever you assumed about who protected whom, history says check again.